So, hi everybody. My name is John Doherty, and I hope you subscribe to my channel. If you're interested in some of the work that I do, look in the description, and you can access my contact page. So today we're talking about Mediumship Musings, Part 2. As a developing medium, I'm always interested in how, in the whole area, and how my practice of mediumship is growing and developing. So yesterday I was invited to do my first spiritualist church service in 2024. And and the night before, when I was going to bed, a part of me suddenly arose in me and said, I don't want to go. I don't want to do it. I felt a lot of resistance. And when I checked in with that part of myself, I realized there was a lot of fear. A fear of getting it wrong, fear of being up on the platform and being rejected or humiliated by the people that were there because I couldn't do it or I got it wrong, or just in general. And when I checked in with that fear and that part of me, I realized there was a much younger part of me that this was coming from, who had experienced a lot of rejection in his life, and that was being triggered by this. So I went into adult mode, which is, I think it's a new verb these days, adulting. I went into adult mode and I said, okay, look, I recognize where this is coming from. It's fear of rejection, fear of being judged and humiliated. That was the first step. And then I opened up and I prayed to Spirit and I said, help me now come to terms with these feelings. And I could feel, for me, when I pray and I talk to Spirit, I can feel then Spirit coming in and my thoughts begin to change. I'm cognitively aware of the difference between my own thoughts and the influence of Spirit. And so what happened was Spirit came in and soothed my fears and helped me to release the fear into the light, and also get a handle on this younger part of myself that's been triggered. And then I could sense the voice of Spirit in my mind saying, well, look, if you just turn up, you always know that we won't let you down, first of all. And secondly, if you could just open the door even a little bit for one of the people who are there, just open the door a little bit, what a gift that would be for them. So just focus on doing one small act of service where you can give a message from a loved one in spirit to somebody in the audience, even just a small message that helps them to open that door. That would be a great act of service. And wouldn't that be a good motivation to go and do it? So it really helped I found, first of all, it really helped to alleviate my fears because I was able to get a handle on this younger part and recognize where it was coming from. And then secondly, asking Spirit for help and for healing, they really brought in a real kind of way of dropping my own ego fears. It's like an ego surrender. Maybe just turn up, and if you could help one person, it would be a great service. And just give them a small message. It doesn't have to be all lights and shining and whatever. And all of a sudden then I felt, okay, I felt a great sense of peace arise, and that this is now manageable. I can do this. I can do this. Yes, I know I can do this. So the next day when I got up, I felt that a lot of the nervousness and a lot of the fear had left me. And so I made an effort. I dressed up, I washed, I dressed up, I got myself, I had to drive for about half an hour. I had a coffee beforehand. And when I arrived, I was in a much more centered, grounded place in myself. And in a way, Spirit had gotten a hold of me. And that's another kind of idea that my spirit guides had gotten a hold of me. So when I walked into the room, I was feeling centered in myself. I was able to greet everybody that I knew, the people who are organizing it, the members of the audience, wishing everyone a happy new year. And of course, all of that helped to ground and center me as well, because when I feel like I know people in the room, that really helps me feel more comfortable and minimizes the nerves. And then, of course, I got up on the platform and I did the address. And I used this then as an example in the address. I was able to tell the story of what happened the night before, how I was feeling, and how then I managed to deal with it. And what a great teaching that became then in the address itself. And so it's all grist for the mill. I really love that about the work. What I have to, the challenges I have to deal with and overcome in my own development as a medium, I can then use those as teaching moments in the address with the practitioners, or with the audience the next day. And of course, during that time as well, my aunt came in, the previous evening, my aunt came in as well, Eileen, to reassure me. She's in the spirit, and, you know, I had a great relationship with her before she passed. And so I say she came with me to the service, and was with me then on the stage, giving me support and giving me energy. So I brought her in and I talked about how our relationship, because there was some good teaching points in that too. She suffered from bipolar depression, and, you know, and one of the superpowers I had was I could make her laugh, and we used to pray together and laugh a lot. And what a gift laughter is when you're feeling low. So, and also one of the things we used to laugh about is she was very religious, of course, and it was all about going to heaven and not going to hell, which was very important. And I worked in a Christian university at the time, so I used to joke with her and say, well, I have a green card here for heaven, straight to heaven with this pass. I have a special pass. And that used to make her laugh. So I brought that with me to the service, and I threw it into the raffle for the end of the service. And I think things like that really help to uplift people. And let's take it, we all need upliftment at different times. So my main point today, as a developing medium, it's important to minimize the nervousness and any fears that arise. Particularly, I'm noticing at this part of my development, I'm not at the stage yet, like I am in the other roles that I have in my work, where I'm very confident because of years and years and years of experience and development and training. I haven't come to that stage yet. I still feel quite new in this whole area. And so overcoming the nervousness and the doubt and the fears is a really important challenge at this point. And then when I got to reading, then doing the readings for the audience, everything flowed so beautiful. I did about 5 or 6 readings. I brought in some great, really good messages, some lovely connections to those who had passed over, and was able to give that to people from a very solid, grounded and connected pace in myself. And that's really what I was aiming for at the end of the day. So I think, you know, this was the third time that I've been on platform with this particular service. And I feel this time I was much more grounded and balanced, because I had done the initial releasing of the fear and the work, the preparation work beforehand. So good to share that today. Mediumship Musings Part 2. Go well.